Hello everyone, this is the last video about the digestive system, and for this video this is our learning objective. In this video we will talk about the accessory digestive organs, and we will particularly cover liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. The liver is the largest visceral organ we have, and most of the liver is located on the right side of our body. Anatomically, the liver has been divided into 4 lobes. Anteriorly, we can identify the right and left lobes of our liver, and we can clearly see that the right lobe is much bigger than the left one. What marks the division between the right and left sides of our liver is this ligament called falciform ligament. The falciform ligament is located in the anterior side of the liver. And here in the inferior portion of the falciform ligament, we see the round ligament. The round ligament is formed by the degeneration of the fetal umbilical vein. Now, following the falciform ligament up, we see that it divides into 2, and these are the right and left coronary ligaments. And the liver, it holds on to the diaphragm that is right above it through these coronary ligaments. When we look at the liver inferiorly, so from bottom up, we see the other 2 liver lobes, and they are named caudate lobe and the quadrate lobe. The quadrate lobe looks like a little square, and it's found between the left lobe and the gallbladder. Now, the caudate lobe in reality is caudal, because remember, we are looking at the liver inferiorly. And beside that, the caudate lobe looks like a little tail because it's elongated, and it's located between the left lobe and the inferior vena cava. Also inferiorly, we can see the porta hepatis, and this is just a deep fissure in the inferior surface of the liver, where we find the hepatic portal vein, the hepatic artery proper, and the common bile duct entering or leaving the liver. Our liver produces approximately 700 milliliters of bile every day. And the function of bile is to emulsify fat present in whatever we ate. Hence, bile needs to be released when we eat. Because of that, we have a little bladder to store bile. And the bladder that stores bile is called gallbladder. And it is this green sac that we find right below the liver. Our gallbladder is capable of storing 70 milliliters of bile. So basically 10% of the total bile volume we produce daily, which is 700 milliliters. With that being said, we can conclude that the gallbladder can get filled to capacity. And when that happens, the bile composition gradually changes because water is absorbed from the bile. And then other components, such as bile salts, become more and more concentrated because water is being removed. And that's the reason why we say that the gallbladder has 2 main functions. One of them is to store bile, and the second one is to modify bile, because when the gallbladder is filled to capacity, water gets removed and then the bile composition changes. Okay, so now we know that liver produces bile and that bile is stored in the gallbladder. But how does bile leave the liver and goes into the intestine or the gallbladder in case it needs to be stored? And the answer is it goes through ducts. And you must know the order and what each of these ducts connect to. So we have the bile that's produced in the right lobe of our liver. It leaves the right lobe inside of the right hepatic duct. Bile that's produced in the left lobe of our liver leaves the left lobe inside of the left hepatic duct. When the right hepatic duct and the left hepatic duct converge, then we have the common hepatic duct. Now, leaving the gallbladder, which is the place where bile is stored, we have another duct called cystic duct. When the cystic duct and the common hepatic duct converge, we have another duct that's called bile duct. And the bile duct is what connects to the duodenum, to the first part of our small intestine. And then we have the release of bile into the small intestine. So the way this works is our liver produces 700 milliliters of bile every day. And the bile produced goes down into the common hepatic duct, and then it goes into the bile duct. Here, at the end of the bile duct, where the bile duct connects to the duodenum, we have a sphincter. And this sphincter just opens when we have chyme in the duodenum. So if we don't have chyme, this sphincter is closed, and then what happens is that the bile that came down the common hepatic duct and now is down the bile duct, and it keeps being produced by the liver, it starts to back up, and then it starts going into the cystic duct and gets into the gallbladder. And that's how bile is stored in the gallbladder. When chyme is released from the stomach into the duodenum, that causes enteroendocrine cells present in the duodenum to release a hormone called cholecystokinin, CCK. The presence of this hormone in the bloodstream inhibits the stomach's muscular contractions, and with that prevents from more chyme to be released into the duodenum. And at the same time, this hormone stimulates the contraction of the smooth muscle present in the wall of our gallbladder. With that, our gallbladder starts to squeeze bile into the cystic duct. Then bile goes down into the bile duct, and then it is released in the duodenum. This is a very clever way that our body has to make sure that bile is released in the duodenum when we actually have chyme there. The last accessory digestive organ we have to talk about is the pancreas. The pancreas is located in the left upper quadrant of our abdomen, and it is basically behind the stomach. Anatomically, we subdivide the pancreas into three parts: the head, the body, and the tail. The pancreas has an endocrine function as well as an exocrine function. And that's important to know because if you have pancreatitis, it's not only going to affect digestion, but it will also affect endocrine functions. The endocrine function comes from the pancreatic islets, which make up about 1% of our pancreatic cells, and they secrete hormones like insulin and glucagon. The exocrine function is the digestive function, and this comes from the pancreatic acini, also called acinar cells. Acini means grape, and these cells are arranged in a grape-like structure, and they secrete the pancreatic juice into these little ducts, and from these little ducts, the pancreatic juice moves into the pancreatic duct, also called main pancreatic duct. The main pancreatic duct runs deep inside the pancreas, and it goes from the tail to the head of the pancreas. And then it releases the pancreatic juice inside the duodenum. Approximately 30% of us have a second duct, and this duct is smaller, and it is called accessory pancreatic duct. This duct just serves as an alternate route to transport pancreatic juice into the duodenum. We make 1.2 to 1.5 liters of pancreatic juice every day. And in the pancreatic juice, we find a lot of water, a lot of bicarbonate, which is a base, and a lot of digestive enzymes. Enzymes that can digest lipids, nucleic acids, carbohydrates, and proteins. So basically, in the pancreatic juice, we have lipases, nucleases, carbohydrases, and proteolytic enzymes, which include proteinases and peptidases. We have enzymes that digest everything that our body is made of, right? Because our body is made of lipids, carbohydrates, proteins, and nucleic acids. And that's the reason why we secrete pancreatic enzymes within granules called zymogen granules, because we want to be extra careful when these enzymes are secreted, since they could potentially digest the pancreas itself. And in fact, that's one of the problems found in pancreatitis. We learned that the liver produces bile, and that bile is stored inside the gallbladder. We also learned that the pancreas produces pancreatic juice. Both bile and pancreatic juice are released into the duodenum. Looking here in the duodenum, we see this rounded structure. This structure is a sphincter called hepatopancreatic sphincter. Heparo means liver, and pancreatic stands for pancreas. So this sphincter controls the release of bile and pancreatic juice into the duodenum. What causes this sphincter to open is the presence of a hormone called cholecystokinin, CCK. When acetylcholine is released from the stomach into the duodenum, that stimulates cells we have within the duodenum to secrete hormones. These cells are called enteroendocrine cells. The presence of acetylcholine within the duodenum stimulates these cells to secrete cholecystokinin and secreting hormones. Cholecystokinin, I mentioned before, it goes into the bloodstream and it inhibits the muscular contraction in the stomach, and at the same time it stimulates the smooth muscle contraction in the gallbladder, and with that the gallbladder squeezes bile out into the cystic duct, and then the bile travels through the common bile duct, and then it reaches the duodenum. At the same time, CCK stimulates the pancreas to release the digestive enzymes into the duodenum. Now, I mentioned the second hormone, and the second hormone is called secretin. Secretin stimulates the release of buffers from the pancreas. And that's very important because remember, the chyme coming from the stomach is acidic. So we need the presence of buffers to neutralize this acidic chyme. So secretin stimulates the pancreas to release buffers into the duodenum. Okay, so now we know that cholecystokinin, CCK, stimulates the release of bile as well as pancreatic juice into the duodenum. But what allows these two secretions to go into the duodenum is the fact that CCK opens up the hepatopancreatic sphincter, also called sphincter of Oddi. When this sphincter opens, we have the co-release, the release of bile and pancreatic juice at the same time into the duodenum. And with this, we finish the digestive system. Please let me know if you have any questions. Bye!